elements.
I mean, they all kind of do. You could say Azur Lane kind of has visual
Oh,
novel.
I know, but like I've only seen the visual novel aspects of Blue Archive.
Well, yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, the gameplay does look kind of boring. It's just kind of like, Was it? There we go. Welcome to I don't know what is this, like the third tier list we've done.
I think it's the third.
And Trench had the genius idea of having a tier list for camos. Actually,
I totally had the genius idea.
Which is actually
totally my idea.
Pretty good idea. Actually, kind of like it. Very in touch because we both like this kind of stuff. So yeah, shouldn't take that long. Probably should be like. Well, do you want to talk about some of these camos? All right, ready, Trench?
Yeah. What is that?
Okay, so the first one is Belgian Jigsaw. Very, very well known. What the Belgian army uses.
From what years?
I think they still use it actually.
No.
Yeah, they still use Belgian Jigsaw.
No.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Belgian Jigsaw has been in use since 1956 all the way to 2022. So they discontinued it 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, I think all the NATO countries are switching into some kind of
Standard camouflage by the Belgian Armed Forces being replaced from November 2022 by multicam. Why?
Because multicam's the best.
Okay, so I'm gonna put Jigsaw at C because like it's iconic, but for me it's like I just don't like it. Yes, we are rating these based off of just like mostly looks. Really? If it looks cool, looks cool. If not, next up is Russian KLMK camouflage. This was what paratroopers use. It was usually a one-piece jumpsuit.
And the one that got switched out with VDV for a digital.
That was actually VSR after, but I think they still technically, I guess, you still see this a lot.
I don't know.
They made so much of this that they still use it. I do kind of like it. I'm gonna put it at B because it's just very simple and.
I'd rather put it at C.
The next up is, I think this is Mossy Oak.
What the hell is that for hunters?
Yeah, I don't know why Mossy Oak is here. Okay, so I didn't make the list. I did add some of this, but like I only added like the bottom stuff. Really,
I want to say F just because I don't think it's a military camouflage.
It's not. It's not. There are
it's not to insult it.
There are instances of it being used by some militaries, I think. But it was just weird.
Maybe like the what was the I can't remember what it was called. There's like Canadians that patrol a very remote outpost and have to defend themselves against wildlife.
That sounds.
But I'm gonna say E.
I'm gonna leave it at E because it's like it still looks cool, but it's
no,
just.
I like it, but it doesn't belong here.
Yeah. Okay, and for some reason, there's like 3 or 4 versions of this camo specifically, and I don't know why. So we'll probably rate those all the same because they're the same camo. Okay, so this is probably just based off of Woodland. It's like an urban version of Woodland. I think they were experimenting with this in like the 90s.
That pink one isn't real.
I know. So funny story about this one though. There is a picture of younger Bucky, very very tiny pup Bucky, wearing an experimental urban camo uniform.
There is
3. Yeah, it was for my birthday. My cousin gave it to me. It was like the pants, the shirt.
Your model.
Oh, it was like the pants, the shirt, and like a cap. And my mom has the picture there somewhere.
It's kind of cool.
It's interesting. I'll put it at D because it's just like it just looks weird.
It's less interesting than a Belgian Jigsaw.
Yeah, I mean you're just basically changing a Woodland to you're making grayscale. Speaking of Woodland, the next one is Hexagon, Hex Woodland, which not gonna lie looks kind of dumb.
Is it even real?
Something like that. I think it's just civilian made, but it's still Woodland just with hexagon pattern overlaid instead of like digital, right? I don't really like the way it looks, but I mean they tried. It's different. I'll give it that. Next up is very not well known one. This is Polish Puma.
Looks kind of cool.
It's pretty cool. It looks a little bit more green than this.
I'd say C or B.
For me, I'm gonna give it definitely B because it's unique and it's different than the rest. I really like it, but there's not enough of it for me to like really like. You don't really see it that much. Next up
really
is the bane of my existence, multicam, the greatest camouflage ever implemented. If there was anything lower than F, I would give it an 8 multicam.
I like multicam.
Multicam is trash, dude. Everybody uses multicam. Why?
Not everybody.
It looks like vomit. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. It's just vomit. I don't care if it works. It looks like absolute garbage, and I hate multicam. Sorry, Trent.
Do you hate it more than CAD-PAT though?
Sir, okay, we'll get to when we get to CAD-PAT, I'll talk about it. Okay, next up, I think this might be frog skin. I did include my own version of frog skin, because this didn't really. It didn't really.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell.
Just put them both up there then.
Where is the frog skin actually?
I saw it earlier.
No, it's right here.
Oh, yeah, that frog skin looks better than like that's like frog skin that's been bleached.
This could be either frog skin or it could be. I would say it's something that the German border guards used to use in the 50s, but I'm not sure.
Oh, like the East German border guards?
That's actually Blumenthal, but no.
Oh.
I'll put this at E because I don't know what this is. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
All right, Alpenflash. Apparently, people love Alpenflash.
German mountaineers?
Swiss.
Swiss mountaineers.
Swiss.
Oh, the Swiss.
Yeah.
A or B? I like it. I kind of like it.
The thing is, it's like it looks very weird, right? Surprisingly, it works. I've seen it. I've seen like tests of it, and it works. It's iconic, but doesn't really look too good. I'm gonna give it a B though.
I don't like it. I want to put it A.
Put it A.
What? I need to see it in context when they wear it. What is it called?
It's interesting. It's Alpenflash.
Alpen.
Basically, it literally means Alpen.
Ooh, those guys look mean.
Yeah. It's a very, very interesting mix of colors.
Okay, because I have to see the context of it. Yeah, so like during like the fall season.
Yeah, it works. It blends in very well.
Yeah, I'd say A. I'd say A then.
Want to give it
the context it's being used in.
It's very. It's. I would
it's
say
hard to pull off of
yeah.
fall like a the leaves of just fallen camouflage.
Yeah, probably could also Jigsaw Belgian Jigsaw could probably also. All right, next three actually are pretty much the same camouflage. We got M81 Woodland, we got ERDL Experimental, and then we have ERDL Normal.
No,
ERDL,
we have Highland and Lowland.
Yeah, ERDL Brown Dominant, ERDL Green Dominant, and then
Highland, Lowland.
So obviously we have to put the camouflage at S tier because everybody knows.
I mean, it's basically NATO. It's basically the NATO.
If you think military, that's the camo you think of.
If it's the late Cold War and it's U.S. troops, it's like,
they're gonna be wearing
the icon.
Yeah, everybody knows that camo and is the most iconic camo of all time. So the next two, I mean, this one's basically just this. So I'm gonna put this one at 8. But the Green Dominant ERDL, I don't really like too much.
I like the Green Dominant. Put it with A.
It's I don't know. It's just too green.
There's some of these I'll fight you on.
Of course you will. Okay.
I like Lowland ERDL.
Next up is Dazzle Camouflage. I don't know why this is on. These are mostly for uniforms. This was just used on ships. It worked. I'll give it that.
E or F, just because I don't think in the criteria of this list should be.
Yeah, I don't know why they put it on here, but like in any other context, this would probably be A because it works. In this context, I'm gonna put it at E because this is kind of used for uniforms. Okay, next up is what is that?
It's not frog skin, is it?
See, that's the thing. This looks like frog skin also, right?
How many frog skins are on here?
Only like 2. I think this could be. I did include it in here. I think this looks like it might be. Oh, these are the same thing. Yeah, it's I think it might be Blumenthal. Yeah, I think this is Blumenthal because I included the bigger patch. Blumenthal was used by East German border guards in the 50s.
I think it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Like it looks
I say
very
B or
World
A.
War II-ish while still being like different. Right? I'm gonna even give it
It
a
almost
B.
it almost looks American.
Could be. It could definitely be American.
Oh,
Okay.
that was a zoomed in picture of
Yeah, I think it's
Blumenthal?
zoomed in. I couldn't
Or,
tell.
the pattern's been knitted
Stretch.
differently.
Yeah. I think this next one I did see it on Verustalaka's website. I think this might be German snow camouflage, but it's hard to tell.
Of what era?
I think just modern.
I did.
It's kind of hard to tell, really, but
The reason I want A for Lowland is it's hard to pull off a green dominant camo.
I guess
And for its
without it
environment,
looking
it
like
did work.
certain things. I'll give the snow
Okay.
camo a C because it's still snow camo and it will work, but it's just snow camo. All right,
Is that
the next one
Fallschirmjäger?
is Splinter Tarnmuster, which is what Fallschirmjägers use.
B or A? B
For
or
me,
A,
this
I
is
love-
definitely an A because it's just
that's iconic.
it's such a
German
cool
paratrooper.
camo. There's another one which is basically the same. I don't know why
Yeah.
he included it twice. They just zoomed in. I did not include that one. I'm gonna put that one also at A because it's the same.
It's the same thing.
I love it, dude. I love Splinter. Tiger Stripe.
Ooh.
Oof. Tiger Stripe I always
Yes.
associate with Special Force.
S.
It's just so cool, dude.
It's so iconic for the
I did
Vietnam
also
War.
include my own because
Okay.
I
I think the one he actually included is more realistic than the one you
yeah.
got.
More the one I have is more like digitized.
No.
Funny story about it. I have a very old my dad said it's a commando camp, but I don't know. It has no tags, it has no markings, nothing. It's just pure tiger stripe. I don't know. I don't really know where it is. I think it's for all my other hats, but it's like very worn. It looks just like this one. Black Tarn.
A.
I'm gonna give it S. I did. Black
S?
Tarn's
Oh,
way
it's-
too good.
They're still using it, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they still use it. Yeah, different derivatives of it.
I mean, that is definitely the poster child of post reunification Germany.
For me,
so.
honestly, when I think NATO, I think Flecktarn. I don't think of the other camos. Really, for me, it's Flecktarn.
Villain.
And I'll give props to the German army that they're not using multicam. They're still using their own homemade stuff because it works and we all know that fashion wins in war. All right, the next one is also German. It's called
Looks very. Is
It's
that
called-
PDOT?
no, it's Plattatenmuster.
Which is a.
Thing about it
German-
is it's very rare that I've never seen uniforms in it, and it looks like vomit.
Put it with C. You go with C.
I don't want to put it
It's
at
like-
D because it's
D.
trying to be something greater
Put the
than
next
itself.
one at D too. I don't know what the fuck that is.
The next one is probably just the snow camouflage like that. Okay, this
Oh.
one I could be wrong.
It's so messed up.
It's I know this one is not. I just looked it up too. Like arid something. It was a prototype used by the army. They were experimenting with it, and
I don't like it.
yeah, it's basically just think of multicam and just blur everything.
It just looks like spray paint.
It's basically just spray paint. It looks like pretty bad.
F E.
And I think
that
this
one.
might be a derivative of.
Yeah,
I might be confusing it with the Chinese camo, but I don't think it's.
No, the Chinese camo would be more digital, wouldn't it?
That's why. Okay, I'll put this one at E also. Okay, the next one.
That's just
Yeah.
woodland.
It's not just woodland. It's French woodland.
Really?
It's a French derivative of woodland. Yeah, you can tell
Oh,
because it's more
French.
bright. Like the yellow areas are more bright.
It's more. The pattern's bigger too.
Yeah, you could definitely tell it's not the same. Yeah, it's different. Personally,
Let
I
me
think the
look
French
at
were
it.
just trying a little too. Gonna come up with their
It
own.
looks. Where do we put woodland?
Woodland is S tier.
Definitely A tier then.
The French one, really?
It's just woodland.
Yeah, but it's French.
I don't hate the French.
I don't hate the French either, but it's like, okay, I'll give it B because
There's-
it's trying.
I'm looking. It's what?
I'll give it B because it's trying.
Okay, give it B. All right.
Okay. Okay, the next I
See,
don't
I
know.
would accept B or C because they look the picture, the guys that have it, they look sharp as fuck.
Well, yeah, the French do. The next one is cancer awareness camo. Look,
That's not real.
I know it's not. I don't know why the guy put it on here. I'm gonna put it at that.
That one might not be real either.
This one looks like it's
real.
just this, but more purple. I don't know why it's there.
The
Okay.
Chucky
The chocolate chip.
S.
Ooh, iconic. Love chocolate chip. And yes, we are gonna be biased, so shut up. Okay, so the thing about chocolate chip is, I feel like chocolate chip wasn't effective when it was deployed, right? Because where they were deployed, it was just sand and it wasn't rock, right? But it's still such a cool camo, though. I love the concept of it.
I think the least effective one was the Digi.
Oh, we'll get to that. I'm a roast.
I mean,
there will be roasts. There will be roasts.
90s America is just choco chip.
Yeah, it's Desert Storm is
War.
chocolate chip. That's all you think of. All right.
What's that one?
This is Desert Marpat. This is what the Marines use now. For me,
I mean, it's the icon of the Marines. So.
Like this to me is more efficient than freaking
the Marines. Like they will die on the hill of Digi.
Yeah.
I think they are replacing it with probably some kind of multicam.
Oh God, please no, Marines don't. Probably I know the Navy, the Air Forces are already replacing their stuff with more. So it's like the Marines. Please hold out.
Honestly, unpopular opinion. I do like the multicam for the Navy. I like the new Navy uniforms.
The utility, the new
the green one.
It looks okay. Yeah, I like it.
It reminds me of Cat Pat.
Yeah. So. The next one is Desert Night Camouflage.
It's cool, but
it's a cool looking camo. It does not work.
What was the point?
Okay, so here's the story about Desert Night. So during Desert Storm, right? They wanted to conceal themselves from night vision and thermal, right? So they thought this will disrupt it and see if it works. They usually had it either as like a smock and like overpants and like a boonie hat. That's like the main thing that they had them at pattern as. Never as actual BDUs.
Let me guess, it didn't work.
What?
It didn't work at all, did it?
Oh, it made you look way brighter.
Oh, great.
It did the opposite. It had the opposite effect. It made you look way brighter on the infrared.
I think I do like it when they have it as like a blanket or something.
Yeah. Does it look cool? Yes. Do I like it? Also, yes. Do I like the concept of it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What did it be?
Fair enough.
It didn't work as intended, but it tried. The little camo that could.
Okay, so is that type 2? Is that type 2 U.S. Navy?
This is Navy Digital. They can't get the shades right. They all look different, right? So for me, this is just gonna represent Navy Digital.
I think B, dude.
Yeah, I think B also because
it's the staple of the United States Navy.
It's a cool concept.
20 years.
Yeah, it's a cool concept. It's like, I like it, but if you fall overboard, they're not gonna find you. You're dead. I don't know what this next one is. It's some sort of winter
we don't know what it
camo.
Is.
I'll give it E because that's where we're putting all the messed up camos.
Okay, that one might be too small. What the fuck?
What it is? Repeating, it's tiled. I can't tell what it is. I'll put it E because we don't know what it is. Okay. The next one is a very relatively unknown, I'd say. This is called Lizard. Lizard pattern. The Greek army uses this, and so do some other armies. What
army?
The Greek army.
I think I've seen it before.
Several other armies use it, but for me, I associate it more with the Greek army because that's when I first.
Let me look at it in context of the Greeks.
Just look Greek lizard camo.
Ooh, it looks pretty. Ooh, that's an A or B, my friend. Ooh, it's pretty sexy.
I haven't personally. I've only seen bits of it. Oh yeah, like on the actual uniform.
If you look at like these 21 gun salute dudes, they're like sharp as fuck.
Like on the BDUs, they look pretty good. It's almost like Tiger Stripe, but
I like it.
It's like a mix of Tiger Stripe, but like Rhodesian bush stroke.
It's just like, for me, I'm not a big fan of the brown sometimes. It's just enough brown and just enough green.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I like it. All right.
I think it's A.
For me, I'm
It's
putting
A
it
or
A.
S, man.
Okay, the next one also looks
S.
like it's it almost looks like Lumentar and like frogs.
I think it's supposed to be frog skin because
I'm
of the
pretty
back
sure
shading.
yeah, I think this is
The primary color looks like frog skin.
I think it's the you know how frog skin is reversible, right? It's got like the more green one and the more like tan looking one. I think this is the green side.
S.
I really like frog.
S.
I'll
I
put
mean,
the-
it's the icon.
I'll put
Second
the other
World
one.
War Marines is like that's the icon.
You think Marines, you think frog skin, definitely. Okay, this is not multicam. This is Hungarian multicam.
Hungarian multicam?
What's the difference? There is no difference. It's just Hungary. This is going in F tier because just because it's multicam, it's going in F tier. I'm sorry. I can't.
Actually, I argue it's a little higher.
You argue it's a little higher? All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it, Trench.
If you look at an actual uniform of it, it's more tan dominant and the pattern is broken up more.
Or the Hungarian one?
Yes.
Let's see. Let's debunk this right away with let's see. Let's see what the Hungarians are cooking.
I'm looking at one that's like the 2015 one.
That's the one they use. That's Hungarian 2015 M.
That one looks way better than multicam.
I mean, like you look at it, I would confuse the two. They look to me, it's just zoomed in multicam. It's just not. It's the same.
I think
it's the same vomit.
I'm sorry.
You're wrong. You're objectively wrong.
I don't care. It doesn't.
I'll give it E just because it's Hungarian. Because I like Hungary.
That's hunting camouflage account.
That's just like some sort of mossy oak for winter. Okay.
P-dot.
So this next one, it's hard to tell, but I think this might be EMR, which is basically digital flora. I think I did also include one. I don't know if that one's the one I included.
I think that one's more representative.
Yeah, but this looks more like digital flora. For me, it's S tier. I love digital flora. Such a cool camo.
It's pretty cool. As
soon as I saw Russian troops for the first time, I kind of wanted. Still looking for that. This one I can't tell where it is. I'm sorry, I just can't.
Put the other one up there, the Digiflora one.
Which one?
Just put it's middle of the top. That one. Huh? Yeah.
I couldn't tell because this one looks more green and this one's more.
That one looks like a better example of it.
I think this might be digital. And there's this one here. I think.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, okay, get rid of the two and put them on the bottom.
These two?
Get rid of the ones that are saturated too much. Like leave the pure example up there. Yeah, just put those down there.
Honestly, I think this one's a better example of this.
I think the one that you have, the brighter one.
I'll leave both of them.
Okay.
This one down here because it might be, but it might not be. Okay, so this next one, I don't know what it is. It's going.
I don't know what that is.
This, my friend, is Finnish M05 camo.
I'd say A or S. I love the fins.
It's a really cool camo, and there's a derivative of it I'll show you right now. But for me, it's A because it's different, obviously. But dude, have you seen those uniforms? Dude,
what are they called?
It's M05 Finnish camo.
M05 Finnish. Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
First, Aleka loves to sell like the stuff in it, but just look at these. Look at these operators wearing. It's almost like it's like Flecktarn, but if the Finnish made it, and it looks really good.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
it fits their environment.
Yeah, exactly, because it's very wooded and
obviously,
it works until it works. I would get myself one of these, but they cost a lot. Because they're really well made. These are the guys that supply the. I like Finnish M05. So that one's definitely A tier. Okay, this is Cat Pat. I'm pretty sure this is the same one. Yeah.
I'd say A. I like Cat Pat.
So the thing about Cat Pat for me is it's way too green. Yeah, I didn't think I'd ever say that because I love green. B? I think it's a little too green.
B.
I'm gonna go C.
B.
I'm honestly
putting B.
Oh, C, dude. C for Canadians. Because it's I don't know, too green. I'm sorry.
Again, it works for their environment.
I mean, you could say the same about this, but like Canadians are not that green. Okay, the next one
That's just the same as that's like upside down digital desert.
I don't know what it is actually. It could be the same as that. I'll put it at E because I can't tell. Okay, the next is actual woodland marpat. This is digital woodland. This is what the Marines use.
Digital woodlands like A.
Yeah, it's
Wait, would the Marines use that one?
yeah, Marines use it. This one looks like a more saturated version, which is what the Navy uses, but they're practically the same thing. You could confuse.
Yeah, I
the
don't
two.
know why people rip on the Navy for that. I like that.
It's just a little bit less green and orangish. The Marine one looks a little bit more green. There's a difference somewhat.
So
Next
that
one.
kind of encompasses. Okay.
Yeah. The next one is. Do you recognize this one, Trent?
Is a P dot?
Close. Austrian PDA. It was used after the war.
I think I've seen it.
Austrian. There's equipment with this. It looks very like. It's an interesting concept, right? But the Austrians ended up just going with straight olive. And they still use olive. I think they're phasing it out and using something else. For the time,
it kind of hurts my eyes actually.
yeah, it's a little hard to look at. It's interesting, but not good for the eye. Like if this competes directly with Blumentarn, I would take Blumentarn.
Okay.
Austrian. Stricktarn, aka rain pattern. East Germans use.
Kind of boring.
Kind of boring, Trent. Really? You don't like Stricktarn?
It's just two colors.
Oh.
Just have the camo pattern looks so like condensed. Why not just have a straight like khaki uniform?
Because it looks cool. S tier.
Re.
S for Stricktarn. Dude, I love Stricktarn. I'm sorry. I know people say it's overrated, but it just looks. It's a vibe. It's a vibe, dude.
Okay, Mister, I'm wearing wood for my uniform.
What does it? Oh, okay, tell it to the ones that wear mossy oak, Trench.
Those shouldn't be in this list, to be fair.
Okay, Mr. Cat Pet. Why don't you just wear a reflective vest, huh? One of those bright green ones. Might as well wear the same thing.
Is that?
This
not
is Rhodesian brush.
B. A.
Iconic as heck.
A.
It's basically just like woodland, but more bright, and then someone just smeared like a brush stroke. Practically.
Rhodesia should have won.
Rhodesians never die. Okay, so this looks like Flecktarn. Thing is, this is Dutch winter. Basically, just a.
That looks pretty cool for a digi.
I like Flecktarn in different variations of it, like in color. I do like it.
Okay, then it's as good as Flecktarn, wherever Flecktarn is.
Where did we put? Well, Flecktarn is S tier. I think this would be more B.
A or B.
Flecktarn might not work too well in this configuration, but it's trying. Next one is
Messed up.
Can't tell what it is. It looks like flour. Just put it there.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is the great, one of my personal favorites. It's M90 Swedish M90
A or S.
For me, it's really iconic.
I mean, come on.
For me, Splinter Camo is probably one of the greatest. I love Splinter Camo. It's such a cool idea. Better than the digital stuff, in terms of certain things. More disruptive, that's for sure.
Plus, that's like I wouldn't say it's a bad example, but the pattern is way more like big for those.
This one, for some reason, has more black. The actual ones, I don't think have that much black.
Plus, they have really big chunks of color in comparison.
I mean, it looks more black, but it actually shouldn't be. It should be more of like.
Well, yeah. See how it's more broken up? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weirdly weird example.
Yeah, he probably used. Yeah, he used this one. It has black instead of this, almost like light purple. Yeah, almost gray.
A true Swedish geezer there with his little beret.
Swedish geezer.
That's a Swedish geezer.
Yeah, it's a cool camo though. I like this camo. Like, see, it looks more bright
green
here.
Beret. Wait. I really need to look up how berets work.
Yeah, well,
they could be different from country to country.
Yeah.
Green Berets are Army Special Forces, right?
For us, yes. Okay. Green Berets are Army Special.
They're so weird.
Okay, the next one, I could be wrong because I added my own, but I think this might be Troopentarn.
Looks like Troopentarn.
Yeah, which is basically Flecktarn for the desert, and I do like Fleck. I do like.
It's pretty nice.
I actually don't have any Trooper Tarns. When I think about it, I go and buy one. I did add my own, right? Because this one looks more true to it. This is more like saturated. So, I'm gonna put it up here. I'm gonna put it S.
It's pretty like yeah.
It's a unique,
not as iconic,
it's a unique
but
desert camo that works. It looks like it works, and it looks good too.
is that desert DPM?
No, I think this is Desert Lizard. It could be Desert DPM. I'm not too sure, but I think there's maybe
One of those
is
normal DPM though.
Yeah, this is DPM. I included that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That almost looks like desert DPM though.
It
Do
could
the
very
Greeks
well
have
be.
do Greeks have desert camo?
I'm not sure actually.
I feel like they do.
The thing, no, but the thing about DPM, sorry, Desert DPM is it's more. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. I'm losing my voice.
Oh,
It's
okay.
basically just two colors. This one I think looks like it has more white. Right? It could just be like a highlight of it, but Desert DPM
There
is
is a yes. It could be yes. It is. There is a desert camouflage for Greek.
different.
That's what it is. Greek desert lizard.
Because there's this one.
It
but
looks
this one
pretty
looks more-
sweet.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm seeing. Yeah.
This one? Yeah, it looks. This one looks more like it because it looks like
It looks pretty sweet.
It's pretty cool.
I'd say I'd put it up there with the. Where's the Greek one? Where
We put Greek
A?
lizard at A.
I'd say it's the same.
Next one is, I believe this is the Chinese one. It's called. It sounds like it says King Kong. It's King Zhang. It's
You're learning Chinese, what?
sure. It's basically just a Chinese PLA
It's not bad.
derivative of their own thing.
For how
there's-
much I rip on the Chinese, it's not too bad.
I actually do really like this camo. Yeah, I don't
Some
like
of
the
the Chinese
PLA.
camouflages are really cool.
They're pretty cool, yeah. Although the navy one looks. Seen the navy one?
It's the same. It's like it's like blue digi, isn't it?
It's more.
I like it because it's blue.
The thing is,
It's
like,
in
look at this.
Battlefield. I
Look
know
at
what
this.
it
Yeah,
is.
it's in Battlefield. It's got like the yellow splotches.
I
looks
kind of
so-
like that.
I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It's kind of cool. It's
Who the fuck are
interesting
you?
adding that extra splotch, but it's like, wow. I'm
I
not
like
too
it.
sure. This is the one that I'm talking about. It's
The one
Jiang-
of the vehicles is weird, but I like
yeah,
it.
it's Jing Kong is the camel that they use, which is basically their main.
I put it at B. It's pretty nice.
They all the other camels that they use derive from this one. Just change up the color. I believe there's a few different derivatives. There's
Well, I'm
woodland,
imagining
jungle,
the
desert, arid, and
Taiwanese.
urban.
I mean,
And then
if
there's
you got one.
this is the more iconic one.
It looks so good.
Yeah, see, these are actually different, but they're pretty. You could tell they're the same.
I think it's pretty nice.
I actually,
I actually
like
do.
It.
I do kind of like some of the Chinese vehicles too.
I'll put it at A. It looks pretty cool. All right, next up is Erbenmuster, also known as Dot 44.
Probably. Yeah, it's the fall camo.
Yeah, it's Dot 44 or 4 or Erbenmuster. It's the same camouflage.
B or A, mate.
For me, it's definitely an A because it's when I associate. If I can associate practically any camo with the SS, it's definitely Dot 40. With like the Waffen SS, it's that. Yes, I know they're bad guys. Whatever. You should recognize that next one.
I forgot the name of it, but S.
Taliban Medico camo. At its time, and I think for a while, it was the most mass-produced camouflage uniform as a pattern. This
Is
what,
it standard or is it only paratroopers?
I think paratroopers.
Well, quote unquote paratroopers.
Yeah, the paracadutistas. This is what Maria has. Her uniform, her jacket is
A
this.
S
camouflage.
S.
Okay, just for trends. Me, I'd probably put it at A, but it's got its history, you know.
Mate,
British,
if that's not S tier, I'm gonna strangle you.
you're gonna strangle.
That is like the iconic camouflage of the British Army for centuries. Like
For DPM, I don't really like DPM too much.
I like DPM.
It's a weird mix of like woodland and Rhodesian brushstroke, and then the British are like, yeah, let's put it on our uniforms. And I'm not really a fan of a DPM.
A.
Not gonna lie. I would put it at C normally, really.
B. Break the difference. Go B. I like DPM. It's literally the iconic British camouflage of like the Falklands War.
Yeah, yeah. I guess. Yeah. Okay, we'll leave it there. Okay. This one was this is one of the ones I added. Let me see what it is. I don't remember. What does it look like? Is that not Flora? It's not Cat Pet. Oh wait, that's Cat Pet.
Hmm.
This is Cat Pet.
Right. I figured Cat Pat was like darker.
This is Danish. This is Danish M84.
Oh. I'll still put it at C.
What up? Danish M84. Look, to be fair, they look freaking identical from where
They
we're looking
do,
at.
but you can tell the.
Yeah, because it's more like it's like a type of flex.
Was that a tank top? Go back.
Where?
Exit out of that image. There's a woman wearing a tank.
A one-piece swimsuit.
I'd wear that.
Ooh, what? Yeah, so it's a derivative of Flecktarn used by the Danish.
I would put that higher than that B. It looks nice.
Okay, let's actually look up Cat Pat. Because remember I'd included that. I'm like, wait a minute, not right. Yeah,
That's
Cat
Cat Pat?
Cat Pat has the splotches of orange.
I love Cat Pat.
It looks almost like Finnish MO5. You could confuse the two, honestly. The only difference is that this one's digital. Yeah, so this is Cat Pat. This is the one I used.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would you still put it at C or B?
I'd probably put it at A.
Yeah, I like Cat Pat, yeah. I love our boys up north.
Well, this is actual Cat Pat. I'm sorry, this was Danish M8. To be fair, from where we're standing at and how the size of these are, probably anybody else looking at this, it looks very different. All right, this is a M90F, I think, or M90M, something like that. Basically, just desert.
Swedish desert.
Yeah, it's M90, just desert.
I mean, it's based. So Vine Leaf.
What?
It's Vine Leaf, isn't it?
Nope. This is the original ESR Flora Camo. It's very iconic for the Russians after the Cold War. A little bit during, actually.
No, it was during the Cold War.
But for a good while, like, I think it's like late 80s till about like 2010s.
It's got to be the 80s.
No, they used this after the 80s.
No, but like when it started being.
ESR? No.
It's got to be the 80s. Late 80s, whatever.
Let me see. ESR 93. ESR Camo. No wiki.
I know they had it. They had it in the Afghan War. There's that.
Produced 1991 to the present.
Oh, so literally at the because I swear to God, there's pictures of guys wearing it in the Afghan War. So.
Boruzenie Zili Rozil 93. ESR was introduced and developed in the late 80s in the Soviet Union. It entered service in 91. The units such as the VDV, and by 1994 was issued universally.
Yeah, because I've seen the paratroopers use it in the Afghan War.
But it wasn't issued till 91. The Afghan War ended in 80.
I thought it was in 91. That was still going in 91.
No?
Oh, then I'm high as fuck.
And you're probably thinking of the there's a different one that they use. I mean, they use KLMK. Paratroopers.
Maybe I'm confusing it with Cam.
Paratroopers definitely use that in the Soviet-Afghan War. But other than that, there's other camo variations.
I put it at A.
It's iconic, and it's like the bad.
It's not digital.
Camo. It's not digital, yeah. And it's you could tell it's trying to be woodland, but it's not.
That looks Swiss or German. What's that next one?
The next one.
That looks German
is
or
a
Swiss.
snow derivative of the Finnish MO5.
Really?
Yeah, it just has the white splot.
Looks very. I don't know. When I see it, it reminds me of the Swiss one. I'd say B. Lowest B. Highest probably A.
Because it's actually different than the normal one, right? Because this is an actual one, right? This is just normal MO5.
Which is dope.
and then you have this with the added like white on it, right? And it looks
pretty good.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Well, I'd be scared shitless.
Yeah,
Well,
especially.
yeah, a fin.
Oh, it's pretty. Oh, it's just the mannequin. Starts speaking Finnish.
I like the guys on shoulder.
Wow, look at that.
Wow. That is some good testing.
That's cool. Also, there's MO4. Oh, this just looks like Troopendarn.
It probably. Well, I mean, it's basically a derivative of German camouflage.
Oh, look at that. The puppy. It's basically just Troopendarn.
Sometimes I forget some of these countries even went to the Middle Eastern
Now,
outposts.
see, this is normal MO5. Yeah, I could tell it blends in with like the dirt and stuff. The effect. Ooh, geez. I don't know. We're getting sidetracked.
I know. Yep.
Alright, so I really like this one. I'm gonna put it at A.
I mean, it's the same thing as the normal one, so.
Okay, the next one you're not gonna recognize. I don't think you're
I think I have recognized it. I probably don't know the name of it.
The next one is it's Russian camo. That's it. That's all it's called. It is a fake Russian camouflage that was invented specifically for the movie Red Dawn.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
It's supposed to be KLMK.
Wait, which one?
The original.
I think I do remember that conversation.
Yeah. So they couldn't get, obviously it's their peak of the Cold War. They couldn't get actual KLMK uniforms, so they tasked an artist. I saw the video on this recently. There's a video, pretty cool video about it. And they tasked an artist with basically recreating it. And the guy's like, all right, cool. I'll come up with something.
How did you fuck that up?
What do you mean?
No, but how did you... Okay.
What?
Well, if he was going to do it, why wouldn't he just make KMLK?
Because he couldn't, Trench. The only pictures were super blurry, black and white.
Oh.
The pictures that they had come up from were like from newspaper articles about the Afghan war. Plus, it's the Russians using this stuff. You can't get your hands on it. Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like there was a way to get a reference of it.
I mean, there could have been, but no. I kind of like this camo. It's unique. I'll put it at A because it's not as iconic, but I could see this being used as a military camo.
That's kind of funny.
In a way, it's a mix of Splinter Tarn and KLMK because it's got like the little lines on it.
I think I know what the next one is.
Next one.
Is that a P-Dot variant?
Oak Leaf.
Oh, Oak Leaf.
This one is reversible also used by the Waffen-SS. Not as iconic as Urban Mooster, but still very associated with the S.
It's pretty much A.
For me, it's definitely. Next one is a derivative of Flectarn used by
Swiss?
none other than ASDF.
Oh, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
S.
Yeah, for me, definitely S. It's such a cool camo. Like, bruh.
Still use it.
Yeah, they still use it, and it looks cool, and it's not digital. Oh. The next one is Italian Vegetato.
S.
Which is, it's trying to be digital, but it's
not too digital.
Fully digital, while still being Italian and not multicam. I'll give it an A. Because it's a little odd. Hey, you. The next one.
I can't remember if the Italian soldiers I saw by the Colosseum are wearing that or not. I can't remember.
I think it's mostly issued now.
They could have been. I can't remember much. I just remember looking at the AR-160, and then I'm like, okay, I'll move along.
Can I touch it?
I don't.
Negato del Balti.
I'm guessing. I hope they know a little English.
See if you can recognize
there
the next
were a
one.
lot of Italians. Rome doesn't take its security very lightly. They're pretty secure there.
I mean, who would attack Rome of all places? Oh, right.
Bro, you'd get lost. You'd get lost.
Right.
It's like New York. You just get lost.
Yeah. Do you recognize the next one?
It's either Russian or Chinese.
Okay, it is Russian.
I don't know the name. Is it VSSOK or whatever?
It's the one that the OMON troops use. They're basically like riot troops. That very distinct. You've seen the jackets.
Are they police or military?
They're sort of like
Are they like
police.
SWAT? I guess.
Kind of. It's
Oh my
basically
god.
a blue tiger stripe.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's very iconic. It's always related to them for sure, right? These guys. Yeah, it looks ridiculous. I'll give it that. But you can tell these guys they mean business when you.
I mean, I'd give that an S just for like, oh fuck.
Then the one in the back.
I could look up their unit later, I guess.
I forgot what specifically they are. I think they're related to the police and something.
I'm guessing they're like internal.
There's some sort of security. But yeah, there was an Amon division in Ukraine. There's special
it's
police
called
unit.
the Special Purpose Mobile Unit.
Yeah.
Special police units within the National Guard of Russia.
Oh, so they're like not really police. They're more like almost like military.
No, they are. Oh, I was actually right. Formerly, they were the MVD, Ministry of Internal Affairs.
Yeah.
So I was correct.
They used to use this sort of camo, which is like ESR Flora, but then they have that more iconic blue one.
I think I'd give that an A, dude.
For intimidation purposes, I'd say that's definitely A.
Dude, I would just shit myself.
Like, you see that, it's like, oh crap, the Omon showed up, dude. They're gonna beat us.
It's like, bro, what did I do?
Right, now everybody's favorite camouflage. Drum roll, please, Trench. I would like to introduce everybody. Universal camouflage pattern, aka poop. Okay, so
that's the new multicam?
No, that's UCP, dude. That is the digital.
The one that doesn't work.
The one that everybody loves so much. Love it so much that they. Okay, so I don't personally hate UCP as much. The thing about UCP is its purpose was that it was supposed to adapt to wherever sort of environment it was. And from what I have seen, sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time, it doesn't. Why? Because we're fighting in the frickin' desert and not on your grandma's couch. Yes, I've seen it. But it had a purpose, and it didn't fill that purpose, and it's just like, well, crap.
And this is why we have multicam.
Yeah, so for a while, it became sort of iconic with the U.S. Army, right? And that's really how I associated it with. I associate modern militaries with this camo specifically. In terms of iconicness, it would be like an A tier. In terms of it looking good, probably a D tier. Because it is iconic as a digital camo.
Wait, what do the Navy SEALs use?
SEALs just do whatever the heck they want, dude.
I don't know. Every time I think of the Navy SEALs, I think of the new modern multicam.
I've seen SEALs use multicam. I've seen SEALs use original 3 pattern desert. I've seen SEALs use anything. So when you're spec ops, you can use whatever the heck you want as long as it fits your right.
I don't know. Every time I think of the SEALs, I just think of the Osama raid, and the Osama raid was all multicam.
Yes. All right. So the next one is called Dubok, used by Ukraine until early 2010s. So it looks very Russian when it was developed. It was developed around the Soviet time.
It's all right, I guess.
Yeah, it basically was almost like a VSR sort of thing, but it's trying to be its own thing.
Cold. It looks like it's very much more used in a colder environment.
It's a very the thing about it is this okay, so let me show you, because this isn't a good example. So because it looks more green and even pale there, but this is what it actually looks like.
Okay.
There. And of course, they discontinued it when they became more westernized, right? This is basically what you see. This is what you'll see.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's every time I see it, I just think, Ukraine. In the early days of the Ukrainian Revolution, the Euromaidan, like you saw both sides using this. The security force using this. You saw the protesters using this. Usually accompanied by an SSH-42 helmet.
What's their current camouflage?
The new one is basically just a UCP variant. It basically it's just a digital. It's this.
You know, I almost like their new one better.
Yeah, it's more. I would say it's more Western. Their shift from more older Soviet satellite to a more
It's a
modern
very unique
thing.
It's very unique digital.
It's
a unique
more
shade.
tanned, right? Compared to like what we have. Ours is more
I like
gray.
both, but I kind of like their modern one a bit more.
Yeah, I could see both. Yeah, I mean they still use it technically, but the new one is more related to like more iconic in terms of like their war right now. You see these guys.
And then you see Zelensky himself wearing like just the undershirt.
Yeah, you
And
see
it's
like the
like,
generals.
oh fuck.
Next
Oh,
one.
there it is.
The next one is Partizan, which is used in Gorka suits. Russian camo use. That's not
interesting. I think Russia at this point has too many camouflages.
Oh yeah, but they're pretty cool.
I guess.
I do want to still want to get myself a suit. So that's a Gorka suit.
Mm-hmm.
And the Spetsnaz obviously have the one patterns on it. So you'll see them in different camos. Partizan.
I like Partisan M.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool, right? This is more
like
greener.
If it's more green, I
green dominant.
Put it higher. That's just the rule.
Okay, Trent. So yeah, and this is a more like arid version of it.
That looks very German.
It looks like dot 44 and those camos, right? It looks very similar.
Okay, I'll put it pretty high then, probably A.
I really do like it. Yeah, I'm putting it S just because it's different. It's more orange and green as opposed to just being like brown and green.
Okay, you're the one that added that just drab.
Yes, I did just add drab because drab is technically a camo. Tell me a military that hasn't used olive drab, huh? I'll wait.
What drab is it?
This one specifically is OD number 7. It represents all the.
British drab is different though.
Yeah, that's. Okay, chocolate chip, or not chocolate chip. 3 pattern desert.
A or S.
For me, it's definitely up top. Yeah.
So that's like what 06?
No, I think it started being introduced after we realized chocolate chip wasn't a good.
So probably 2006.
No, Trench. They discontinued chocolate chip in the 90s.
No, but I'm saying when they issued that.
No, it was way before that because my uncle used it. I have his uniforms, Trench. 3 pattern.
So late Gulf, but still like the Gulf War period.
Service history 1991 to 2008. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, so both Gulf Wars.
Yeah. Wars, Gulf War, very limited use. Battle of Mogadishu, War in Afghanistan, Balakaya Island attack, and the Iraq War.
Yeah.
For me, I associate this one mostly with like the Iraq, because that's when my
Operation Iraqi Freedom probably. I'd say A or S.
Chocolate chip count. Let me see when chocolate chip was this, because I know for a fact that chocolate chip did not last too long. 81 to 95.
So yeah, Gulf War.
Persian Gulf War, Somali Civil War, and the Iraq War.
Oh, made it all the way to the Iraq War in 2006?
I don't know how it ended up in the Iraq. Maybe just as like surplus. Replacement. The initial batches of BDUs, blah, 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 early 1990s. Both patterns were briefly used together during the transition period. During Restoring Hope and Gothic Serpent, some Rangers later occasionally wore the newer 3 used. Blah, 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 blah. Also, the invasion of Iraq was 2003. I don't know where you got 2000.
Because that's Iraqi freedom, isn't it? What's 2006?
There are pictures of Iraqi soldiers wearing these, though. I'm guessing we kind of just issued them our surplus, right? Because like at this
Not
point,
gonna lie, not gonna lie. Some of the like, all right, they do have drip.
somewhat, yeah, I could see it.
They got some drip for being like, hey, they're the ones that won't shoot at you.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So Trench has been eager to know about this last
What
one.
the fuck? That doesn't look real.
It is real. The thing is, it was never actually used.
I can tell because of how dumb it looks. Why would you just have cube?
So, the United States Marine Corps was experimenting with something called Operation Urban Warfare. Urban Warrior, my bad. And they came up with this.
I think I saw this when I watched Uniform History.
It is so weird. Like, this would not blend at all, right? And I have heard that apparently the skateboard thing was a real thing, too.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Okay, you weigh. Okay, let's say the average soldier, right? It's like 250, right? 250 pounds to get in the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess that's the weight, and you're like 6'3", and then you're carrying 60 pounds more. That skateboard ain't going shit, man. You'd be you wouldn't be able.
Experimental T-pattern BDU. It looks cool though. Like on the BDU, it looks cool. Like if you had shown a young Bucky this and you told him this is what the modern like future military, I'd be like, whoa.
I'd believe you, but then I'd be like, well. Yeah,
but then like more like teenage Bucky, and you would have told him that the digital pattern was still gonna be used. He would have been like, oh, well, I guess that makes sense. And then you tell older Bucky that, yeah, modern military uses multicam. He's just like, oh man. So I don't know. Honestly, don't know if the skateboard thing is true, but I have heard something about that. Like it popped up somewhere about the skateboard, and then there's the.
I feel like this is just a dumb idea.
I mean, you don't need an
urban camo.
I guess not. I mean, gray camo would definitely just work better, right?
I think just a really faded green would work better.
I mean, you could just replace everything with olive drab and it would still work, but that's.
I know.
Something, yeah, like the pattern that I used looks more like this, but in reality, the pattern looks like.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, but it's the most unique camo I've ever seen. For what it is, very unique. Practical, doesn't work, so it's, yeah. I'll give it a B though, because it tried. A little camo that tried. Yeah, and then here's all the.
I don't see the incessants on an Ermid camo.
Why not, Trench? Why not? Why don't you see it?
Because I don't care what you wear. Someone's going to be on a rooftop. They're going to be able to see you.
Well, they do say urban warfare is the
I hate
worst.
That. Get that out of my face.
What?
The tanks.
This?
Get that. I hate that. I hate
the
those
block
chieftains.
camo?
I hate it.
I mean, while we're on the topic of camos, I might as well bring this. So, there was sort of an attempt, right?
See, that looks better.
See, this is
that makes sense to me.
This is universal camouflage experimental. This is basically the pattern that was in between UCP and the 3-pattern desert. So there are pictures of basically just UCP with the brown splotches and some like orange looking.
That makes sense to me. Actually.
This kind of looks better. Yeah, UCPD.
That makes sense to me.
This does kind of look better. I don't know. They just never did it.
I don't know. I think overall urban camouflage has always been just a failure. I think they just give up. I think they just give up and wear whatever they were wearing.
I mean, to be fair, why would you want to blend in as normal infantry? You can't really blend in a city, right? Even if it's all rubble, right? Like Trench said, a sniper is gonna see you. He's gonna take you out. Maybe a sniper could benefit.
Your skin tone's probably gonna give you away.
Yeah, like maybe a sniper could definitely benefit from this, but like other than that, as like a more wide use application, you stand out more. It's like the desert night camo. You stand out more. it just doesn't really
There's
work.
no, I don't think there's any use for camouflage, and I think it's like, well, you're gonna move on or retreat into the environment that was beyond the city, so might as well have a woodland.
Like, there are arguments for and against it, but for the most part, I honestly
The thing to me
don't.
is, okay, let's say stereotypical, let's say the Midwest, right?
Hmm.
It's all forest, and then there's cities in the, it's all trees and shit.
Hmm.
You're approaching the town from the tree line or whatever. They're gonna know you're coming anyway. It's like, where are they gonna come from? They're probably gonna come from the tree line. They have to go into the city somehow.
Mm.
So there's no real point.
I mean, like a city isn't just that too. Like
A
a
city is
disruptive
way too
pattern
much of a
camo, right? Like a disruptive camo, like we saw with the MO5 winter variant, right? Works because there's more than one color, right? When you're and it's disruptive. When you're using the T block one, where it's just basically three colors at most, in a city, right? A city has different shades of everything, right? Unless
I
it's
think a
pure
city,
rubble, you're not gonna hide.
right? A city, at least an intact city, is too much of a varied and 3D environment where someone is going to see you.
Yeah. Because as long as you're moving, they're gonna spot you. That's the thing. Camo, to be fair, like in modern days with thermal imaging, with drones, with satellites, with everything we have,
Right,
camo is
like
completely useless, and it's purely just as a military tradition at this. Like concealment
basically.
before was very useful, right? Like you're gonna ambush a tank column that's coming by. You're gonna, ambush a certain thing. You're gonna conceal yourself from the enemy. But nowadays, with the new tech, all that stuff is worthless. Could it still work? Yes.
It's nice to have, but when
Mhm.
it's beyond Mark 1 eyeball,
Mhm.
someone's
Yeah.
gonna see you.
Yeah. Like no matter how hard you hide, I'm gonna see you. That's always
But,
been the
it's
case.
nice to trick a Mark 1 eyeball.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you can get the jump on the enemy, even if by just a few seconds, right? I'm not seeing you, that's good enough, right? But chances are, if it's a modern military, they already saw you.
Right, we're rarely seeing that, too. So.
I mean, for crying out loud, the civilian drones are being used in warfare right now in Ukraine. It's like you see it on Twitter all the time. It's like it's there. They can see you.
Okay, I think we should wrap this up.
All right, only an hour long. Wasn't too bad. I think this is a pretty decent camo rating. There are camos we didn't include, obviously, because there's so dang many of them, right? And I did some include from the last
really,
one.
in the Pacific, like in the, we don't have a lot of Asian camouflages in that one.
I did not include many. No, there were some from like the Singaporean Thai military that I also didn't include. I should very well.
Like
For the
Thailand,
most
that's pretty
part,
cool.
they follow the same rule. It's basically green, tan, and brown. It's basically just woodland, just in different versions of it. That's what you notice in most camouflage, because that's what most of the thing is. The green is obviously grass, brown, dirt. The tan, the in between, and it works. But yeah, the history of camouflage is very interesting. But yeah, that'll do. Trench, thank you for coming with this genius idea. So good.
It wasn't my idea.
It was your idea though.
I thought it was your idea.
No, you came up with it.
I came up with the other one.
Yes, you came up with the other one, but then you were like, oh, like I don't know, what about like I don't know, camos or something like.
I think you shouted camos. I think.
No, you thought of it, and then I found the other list, and I'm like, we're gonna build them. I should probably put T block at C. I'm changing my mind. Yeah, that'll do it. I'll post this on Twitter, the image stuff, see if I get flamed for it. If the Telashka pattern was on here too, I'd probably put that
I
on
did
S.
say it. Okay.
Yes, you did.
Okay, I had to look at the conversation.
This guy. All right. So yeah, one more stream tomorrow. That's it. Gonna end up contract vacation. Entropy 02. Yeah. And then I'll try to post the schedule on Saturday this time. I promise. The other day off, so I'll probably have more time. There are some other stuff stuff that I want to do during the week. Bench? Amy? Get it? Always.
Nope.
Tier lists. Very wrong opinion. Alright. It's still very early. I don't know what we're gonna do after.
Well, we gotta get Masters of the Air out of the way.
Right, and then
Garrett said he couldn't make it, yeah. So
we'll figure something out. Right. So thank you for watching. Blame me if you must. But this is the absolute tier list. All right.
100% factual.
100% factual. If you think otherwise, you're wrong. Thank you for watching. You're all fantastic. Arrow. I still think DPM should